All right, guys, we're going to dive right into a message for the Twin Flame Collective regarding a number of things. It could be twin flame separation. It could be just the stages of twin flames that many of you may be going through, or you may be experiencing symptoms of ascension as well. Could be a big thing where a lot of you are just feeling numb or out of touch with where it is you are on the path. It's like the decisions that you're making. You're not sure which direction that you're going in. You could be guided to do something different, but you don't know how, or you can't see a way, okay? Certain karmic situations or soulmate situations, contracts with those partners could be coming to an end, and so the energy feels a little bit stagnant, okay? That's why many of you may be running into high conflict situations where you are starting to express yourself more and you're not able to just settle. Okay, so many of you could be in a lot of high conflict situations with others because you're speaking your mind. You're no longer tolerating the ordinary and mundane things in your environment because you can feel yourself shifting. You can feel parts of you awakening. So if many of you do feel like you're overwhelmed or there's just a lot on your plate, rest assured that you're going to get through it. The guidance is always there. It always finds you. I feel like that's why certain readers will show up in our feed, or certain information will pop in to our reality, or, the source will bring it to our attention just to let us know that we are on the right path. So I do hope this reading finds you as a way of letting you know, on your twin flame journey, whatever you're experiencing, that all is well, okay? So let's go ahead and get a message from the guides of the hidden realms. Okay, so your message is in the midst of the radiant fire, okay? So cleansing fire, obsession, passion, and inspiration, okay? So I do feel like this has a lot to do with embracing separation for some of you, especially at a time where you don't want to separate. You don't want to do it. But the universe is saying, listen, you have to take care of what's on your plate. You have to burn those bridges. You have to, it's like prioritizing things for the sake of integrity, the sake of having respect for another soul. I feel like the desire and the passion between whoever these two are, it's maybe clouding your judgment. Maybe you're getting caught up in cycles of like lust, which, it can be exhilarating and passionate, but it also comes with like a lot of hurt when you can't access this person in a sensual way, the way that you would like to, or the way that you want to, because then you too start learning certain things about boundaries, and you start becoming inspired with inspiration here, because once you draw a healthy boundary, or your twin will challenge you with something that, yes, in the moment it may feel good, it may feel passionate to do it, it may feel great to take part in it, but I feel like if you two are hiding this connection or doing things in secret, especially when it comes to that fire or that passion between you, many of you could be experiencing affairs, or experiencing your twin flame connection in a way that's very secretive. You're not able to be yourself, and so you may find along the way that it's this burning energy of like pain, like a lot of the passion, but then comes the pain, okay? And I feel like the universe is saying to many of you, you can't continue in this cycle. Something's got to give, because the way the face is split in half, also in the image, it tells me that many of you could start feeling like you're living a double life. And eventually that's going to take a toll on you. You may not be feeling it now, or you may think that you have everything under control, or that you can manage it, or you may find your soul making excuses for just wanting to continue seeing them or talking to them, texting them, even though you might be married, even though they might be married, even though you know that deep within your gut, everything is saying you're not doing this the right way. Okay, and I feel like what tells you you're not doing it the right way is that big crash and burn that you two tend to experience cycle after cycle, okay? And what I do get an image of is two people coming together in this very passionate exchange, and then having to then navigate the energy that's built here in secret. It can't come out. Then that creates conflict between you two. Feelings of resentment, feelings of jealousy, feelings of wanting each other's attention, affection, that validation. And so what's needing to happen is kind of like a cleansing, right? Burning down this cycle and realizing that, yes, you may have to go off on your own individual paths and experience separation. But oftentimes that can be very scary, okay? So let's go ahead and get a message here from your counterpart as to what the energy is like in their situation right now. So let's say they're the ones that are married. They could be the ones that are pulling away. They could be the ones that, that's like what I'm hearing is like, I just can't do this. Like there's a lot of passion. I'm getting lust for some of you, okay? And what I mean by that is like it's the sexual passion that keeps you two connected to one another. And that in itself is something that you cannot help. But I feel like your guides are asking you to take a good look at this aspect of yourself, maintaining balance in your life, maintaining self-control, maintaining the way that you look at exchanging sensual energy with another person. Okay, because some of you might find that your twin could be mirroring to you hypersexuality, for example. Okay, so some kind of cleansing is happening here. Let's see what's happening in your person's life. Okay, so being away from you, heartache. Yeah, I told you guys. There's definitely something to do with the physical intimacy here that you guys are going nuts over not being able to do with one another. It has something to do with some kind of cleansing here. The universe is saying, like, I can see what's happening here and you guys aren't doing things by the book. So it creates a moment of you two either getting caught in a lie is another thing that I'm hearing for some of you. And, guys, this whole twin flame experience is not for the faint of heart. And I can walk the walk and I can talk the talk and tell you guys that, and it does cause a lot of heartache being away from your twin. Like it does physically, like it's physical pain, a pain that you've never felt before because it's literally your soul not being in alignment with itself. Okay. But the only way to get alignment with your soul is by doing the right thing, which is drawing that boundary and saying, we can't connect in this way. It doesn't feel authentic. And honestly, like I feel like there could be one of you that's more comfortable with it than the other. And the one that's more comfortable with it, it does bother you that they're comfortable with just doing things like this in secret, right? And that is maybe something that you have to teach them, about what it's like to have morals and to have values, and more importantly, to be able to stick by them for the sake of boundaries, personal boundaries. This is who I am and this is what I stand for, and I'm sorry, I can't change or shift it. Okay, but sometimes we can get caught up in those cycles of heartache. You don't want to be away from them, so you stay and you tolerate and you push things past your boundaries, and then boom, everything poof up in flames. Either way, you guys are blocking each other. You guys are back at square one saying, let's not do this, let's just be friends. No, we can't be friends. And then, all of that heartache again. The universe is trying to let you know you've got to do something different, and this time it's got to be like by the book. You can't go about doing things in this connection that keeps creating more secrecy, and for some of you too with children, I feel like oftentimes you might struggle with like what kind of example am I setting. Sometimes too it's like we need to experience that growth, and there's no judgment here. It's like all of us are human. These are real situations that many of us are going through, especially on the twin flame journey. Many of us, I feel, have like you went searching for answers, and that's how you stumbled upon a lot of the information. And oftentimes you'll hear people saying like, yeah, I'll help you find your twin flame. It's like anyone on the journey really knows it's not something you go looking for. It is that passion, yes, the intense love, but picture the triggers now with the same intensity, so it really, I feel like both of you could be coming to an understanding that this journey is not a joke. It's in fact not all fun and games. It is in fact not all, let me be sensual with you and let's have our fun. And that's another thing too that I am picking up here with your person is that like they're so heavily attracted to you. Like look at this card here, passion, obsession. I feel like this is somebody who came towards you feeling like they could run game on you type thing, right? Like that could have been their mindset, And there's a lot of feminine energy I'm picking up from this card as well, where you could be coming into an understanding too about your own energy where, like that feminine energy is a power, So many of you could be learning to draw boundaries and to do things by the book. And many of you who have started, to understand that and walk that path, and you've done certain things on your journey, like go through divorce, go through separation, learn to survive on your own for the sake of not living a lie, right? And I feel like for many of you who have had that transformation here, you know, you are really looking at feminine energy as that powerhouse. A lot of you too are not, like, you're less and less attracted to masculine energy that, you know, like they think that their sexuality is something that they can run game on. It's like, whoa, excuse me. Let's not forget who has the power here, okay? You can't run anything, sir, okay? Let's just put it away, okay? Tuck it back. I'm just joking. Put it away now. I feel like many of you are feeling that. You're feeling that with this, all of the red here in this card. These are lessons here that you're learning, especially around lust, like I was talking about earlier on in the connection, right? So I do feel like a lot of you are paying, again, closer attention to your boundaries, like refusing to go through these cycles anymore. Like for the feminine energy here, you want more for yourself, and by wanting more for yourself, you're stopping your masculine counterpart. Like no, I want to do this, but I can't. You know, it's not right. And that's creating this obsession because it's like you're cleansing them. You're cleansing them with showing them the power that you have. Ooh. Okay, we're going to keep these. But yeah, you're literally cleansing them by showing them the power that you hold through abstinence, through self-control. Okay? Many of them are slowly starting to humble themselves and realize, like, everything that they were just kind of throwing around, you know, throwing that big around. And now there's like a complete shift in that mindset, realizing that, wait a second, I can't use that to control. Okay, so there's been a shift in the energy as well, in the midst of the radiant fire. Okay, so you are finding yourself through this journey. Okay, I'm seeing too that many of you could be ending off stagnant relationships. Okay, so if a lot of you are involved in like certain marriages, and then you meet your twin flame, and then your heart gets set on fire, you know, what goes on in the karmic situations is that you start realizing self-worth. Okay, you start paying more attention to what sets you on fire, what makes you feel passionate. And that obsession too is, that energy also is something that kind of comes over you when you start connecting with your twin flame. And not obsession with them necessarily, but just obsession with life. Obsession with making sure that you leave your mark in this world. It's like this newfound obsession, seeing the world in a new way. It's like awakening, ascension. You step onto the path. So many of you could, again, feel this. I feel like you feel that the connection is there more than ever. Even though two people are being pushed into separation, I feel like there's an understanding that this heartache, being away from you at this time, is necessary, because like someone's realizing that, like, it's okay for the separation to occur, and it's okay for us to be apart and realize some shit in our life, because maybe some things do need to change, so that way we can spend more time together without being in hiding. You know, let's pull out some of these cards. Yeah, I feel like somebody is ready to take control of their life again, or take control of this connection. That's why I feel like both of you may be going back to your own individual lives and looking at what's on the table in front of you first and dealing with that. Okay, maybe in the past you might have been afraid to do that. It was easier, you know, going about your happy home life and then all of a sudden having this secretive connection with your twin. But now I feel like it's catching up, and the universe is saying, hey, you know, you're going off course here. And there's that lust energy I was talking about, where, you know, many of them couldn't leave you alone. And for the feminine energy as well, I feel like, because the masculines are the action-oriented ones. So I feel like when it comes to that lustful energy I was mentioning in the beginning of the connection, I feel like a lot of your divine masculines would pursue, and you couldn't help but just be open, right? It's like you would cave, or you would be, you know, just completely all over yourself in terms of not being able to deny it or say no. But look at this. Okay, each time you connected in that way, it ends in regret, because the both of you, with their backs turned to one another, have other places to go back to and have other places to be. And then it creates this whole big cycle of the push and pull, or as we see here, the instability, meeting in secret, right? that's that cycle that you both keep going through over and over and over again. And it doesn't sit well with your soul. And I feel like that's the elephant in the room that neither of you are admitting, right? It's like, yeah, okay, sure, we're comfortable with this being in secret. But then when you guys aren't together, there's feelings of resentment. Like, why won't you leave your person for me? Well, why won't you leave your person for me? Well, it's hard. Look at my situation. Well, it's hard for me too. Look at my situation. So both of you are waiting for the shoe to drop, but nobody's taking action on it. So you continue to try to hold on, through this secretive way of being. But as with this card here, I feel like that stability that you guys have going, or that you think you have going, is about to kind of start disrupting itself, because the feelings that you carry for one another, it's not going anywhere. It literally is starting to transform your lives. You guys are getting ready to start writing a new chapter of this journey with one another, and I feel like all of you know it's coming. Like, if you resonate with this reading, you know that it's coming, just based on some of the things that have been occurring, some of the conversations that have been coming up, and also to some of the feelings that you've been harboring in a lot of your karmic or soulmate connections. And then, gosh, this lust in the background that you have for your counterpart, this love. And that lust is not a bad thing. I just feel like it's such an important part of the twin flame connection, because that passion, that pull towards one another, there's nothing more that reminds you that, that is your person in every way. Okay, so I don't know who this was for. I hope it finds you guys well. And if you guys want to connect closer, make sure you check out some of the links that I do have in my bio. And I'd love to work personally with you guys if you'd like a personal reading, okay? Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye, guys.